Hydro Dip 2 Canvas Sneakers.
Water is filled in the bucket. As you can see, there's a little bit of that spray paint residue that's left over from the last hydro dip, and there's some that is on the bottom after we dumped it, some dried on the bottom, but that's not going to affect us right now. And like I said, your container that's gonna happen to your container.
Remember, at all times when you're using something dangerous like an X-Acto knife, to have parent supervision or adult supervision. Very, very dangerous tool that we use in the art room, and only the middle schoolers and the high schoolers really ever use them.
These are the gloves that he used yesterday, or the other day when we did hydro dipping. You don't have to get rid of the gloves. If you pull them off by your fingers after they dry a little bit, okay, you can save them again. Now, of course, if for some reason they're just destroyed, you can throw them out, but you can hydro dip with these gloves again after they dry. Okay, so we're going to do the second round of hydro dipping. We have some different colors, and we're going to do shoes this time. These are canvas shoes. These are not super expensive. They're not like Vans or Adidas because we're practicing with these. If you want to do fancy shoes, my suggestion is that you practice hydro dipping on something else first, like the phone cases or something like that, especially if they're like a pair of Vans or something, which are kind of expensive slide-ons. So these are made of canvas. They're going to accept it really well. We've got our water all ready. Okay, we've got the colors of spray paint that we want to use. And like we said before, sometimes when you do the hydro dip, it doesn't come out exactly the way you want. You just kind of have to roll with it. So we're going to let my bud here start putting the spray paint into the container, and then he's going to get to work. Dark blue, kind of a turquoisey blue, red, a purple, that darker blue again, a little of that turquoise, a little of the red, a little of the purple. And like we said before, you can start to see the colors start to mix a little bit. A little bump in the bucket kind of change things around. Also, after you spray, do you see how the paint starts to come back together again? Okay, so if you give it a second, you're ready to go. So now he's going to hold his shoe upside down. Can you show it? He's got the gloves on. Hold the shoe upside down, and he's going to dip it in to the place he thinks is going to look the coolest. Completely submerge it, and then wipe all the stuff away, all the paint away. Take it out. Okay, now the goal is, wow, that looks pretty cool right there, doesn't it? That part. The goal is that, now he's gonna sit it down, let it dry. Okay. And he's got his second shoe that he's gonna do now, okay? You could do it in different colors if you wanted. You could do it with the same colors, maybe instead of more blue, more purple or something. We're gonna see what he does. He's got his second shoe over here already. Okay, first shoe's done, second shoe's ready. The goal is that where the tape is, after it dries, we peel off the tape, and that part stays the color of the shoe, which would have been white. This is kind of the rubber part of the sole. This is actually a canvas part that he wanted to leave white, so he's going to leave that white. And then back here, it's leather. Well, it's fake leather, so it should accept anyway. So he's ready to go. by filling up the whole container and letting it sit for about 5-6 seconds while he picks up the shoe. He's gonna have a lot of places to choose from. More blues over here, got some more purples over here, okay? Here goes the hydro dip with the shoe. Looking for the spot he wants. Putting in the water with the gloves on, submerging, holding it down, rinsing away. And that rinse is why we get the residue on the sides. There we go. Hold it down here and let's see the two. So we're gonna let those dry a little bit and then we're gonna peel off the old tape and see what they look like. Okay, pretty good job. So cleanup is important and preparation is important. We prepared already, I told you, by getting the bucket ready with the water, by taping the shoes up. We were very careful when you're using the knife on the shoes. If you are younger, you probably want your parents to do that for you. My buddy who helped me, he's done this a bunch of times and he's used knives before several times in art class and at home, so he's pretty good with it. You don't have to tape it the way that he taped it. You can kind of tape it any way you want, but that tape sticks a little better to the rubber than to the canvas of the shoe. You can get pinstriping tape that they use to pinstripe cars. That's a little bit smaller. You can use that. You could use duct tape, but when you trim the duct tape with a knife, you're gonna have to watch the edges. The blue tape works pretty good. If it starts to not stick, you can use a hair dryer, heat it up a little bit, and then press it back into place. In a couple minutes, actually in about half an hour, 45 minutes when that dries, we'll pull it off and we'll show you what it is. Right now we're gonna clean up by putting the spray paint away. The gloves are dry, we're gonna put those away, and then we'll get ready to see how they look. Thank you. These were done, they look fantastic. Left a little bit of white on the side, it was a good idea. My buddy's idea to do that, so it looks pretty sweet. Bottoms look good, the insides are fine and clean. They're wet, they're gonna have to dry a little bit, but we did take the tape off. All right, it's not ever exactly perfect, but they look pretty sweet. Oh, like that. Now, when they do completely dry, my suggestion is that you don't take the clear coat spray paint that we've used before. You can use that, but the best thing to take is if you go to a shoe store, a Home Depot, a Walmart, a place like that, one of those big box stores, you can buy a waterproof repellent that is made for shoes. Whenever we buy shoes, we bring them home, we always put that on. It helps protect them. So that'll be something that might help protect your shoes, or will help protect your shoes. If you did something like a phone case, or if you did something like a water bottle, here's a water bottle right here. If you did something like that, that's upside down drying right now, then you can use the clear coat spray paint. That would be the best for that. But for the canvas shoes, I would use the water resistant repellent spray.